Just the fact that we're starting a fishing video out here in the shop instead of out on the water should be some indication of just how bad today's trip was. It was that bad. But hey, I made it home. That was in doubt for a little bit there, but I made it. So let's take a look at what happened today, because let's face it, it's the trips where things don't go right that we learn the most. And besides, when everything just goes according to plan, well, that's just boring now, isn't it? I started out this morning with two goals. First, to catch some fish. Second, I wanted to make a good fishing video. I wanted it to look good. So I thought, okay, the boat's finally ready now. And we've carried it out a few times since I got it. But those were trips just to see what was going on with the boat, working on stuff, fixing things. Those weren't real fishing trips. I thought, okay, it's finally ready for a real fishing trip. Yeah. Okay. I wanted it to look good. I'm trying to make better videos out in the field, you know, fishing, hunting, that type stuff. And I was going through my camera gear and working on some things and planning out my shots. I had planned to have this really nice, elaborate, you know, establishing shot with the drone from up above. And yeah, I was playing with the drone yesterday and I destroyed it. I broke it. It's in pieces. The drone Mrs. River got for me. She don't know about that yet. Maybe she won't watch this video. So, yeah, that was out. Okay, plan B. All right, I had everything planned as far as the cameras and, you know, locations and so forth. I was setting up the cameras at the lake this morning and pulled out my brand new, just ordered new power cables for the external batteries to go to the GoPros. They didn't fit. Wrong cables. All right. Not having the external batteries for your GoPros, that's not good when you're trying to film a fishing video, and this is why. That's a pretty decent fish there, folks. Yeah, that really is where the battery died at. Murphy's Law was in full effect today. I did try shooting some with my good camera. I had it today to get those nice pretty shots for what I had in mind originally with, you know, the opening and all that. And the problem with my good camera is you have to change the light settings on it, or the settings on it for the light. Well, the light kept changing. And you can see on this little shot here, I had a nice little spotted bass. I set up the camera and it was low light. I hit record, step back, sun comes out and it's bright and it's just blowing out the image. Well, I had a fish there. And I knew I wasn't going to keep fish today. Don't worry, we will in the future. But with everything I had going on with the cameras and so forth, and all the things that had not gone right up to that point, I just knew I was not going to want to be cleaning a mess of fish tonight. So I said, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and turn these loose today. Well, I had the fish right there, and when I turn them back, I'll try to turn them back, you know, make sure they're as healthy as possible. Well, I had to get the fish back in the water. I didn't have time to be fooling with the camera and changing settings and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it was a little challenging with the good camera, and that's why you want the GoPros. There, you know, light isn't near as much of an issue with them. So what else happened? Left this morning and I forgot my good graph that goes on the console. I realized that about halfway to the lake, which truthfully, that wasn't an issue for me. I'm just not that big on electronics, and I've got a little small graph up front that came with the boat, like a 2-inch screen or something. Truthfully, that's all I need. And I finally got it back working, which came in really handy today. When I got the boat, I could not get that graph to work. So I traced all the wires down and went underneath, see what was going on. And they had it wired into the lights for power, so the graph it didn't have any power unless the lights were on. Not good. Anyway, I got all that straightened out, finally got the graph working, and worked great today. And the depth to be able to see if there's any shad under the boat, and structure and water temperature, I'm good. That's really and truthfully all I need, especially for springtime. Okay, so forgetting the main graph, that's just a little annoying. It just really wasn't an issue. But my big motor died on me, and that was an issue. And it died. I'd gotten on up the lake a little ways, and I started out this morning, and it wasn't running great, but it was running good. And it fired up like that. Okay. And I noticed as the day was going on that last time I cranked it, it's just a little hesitant on starting. I said, okay, let me just go ahead and, after I fished that little area, let me go ahead and just head back to the boat ramp. And I'll just fish the rest of the day down there. There's good places to fish there too, and just be on the safe side. I hit the ignition, and she just would not fire up for anything. And it's an old boat, okay? And ironically enough, I just talked to my mechanic Wednesday about it, and he'd already worked on it. It ran great when I got it back from him. Well, it's just kind of been going downhill ever since. So that's why I've been working on the fuel system and rebuilt the fuel pump, changed out the bulb, fuel lines. And the boat had sat for a long time. Okay, that's not good for an outboard. It's not good for them at all. Basically, it needed running. And I knew that, and the mechanic knew that. And I just had spoke to him Wednesday, and I was supposed to have carried it back to him Wednesday to look at a few little things. And I told him, no, let me go ahead and run it this weekend and just see how it runs. And well, we know how that turned out. But again, that's just, it needs running, and it's going to take a while to get all the trash and everything cleaned out. And my guess is that, just trashing the carburetor. Now I'll get the boat back to him this week, and we'll see. But it is at this point that I really want to brag on my trolling motor battery. It is why I'm here right now doing this video instead of still out there on the lake stranded here at 9 o'clock at night. Keep in mind, I have a 12-volt trolling motor, so one battery. I'd already fished a good bit that morning. And that trolling motor, that's what got me back the 2.5 miles to the boat ramp. I am proud of that battery, so there is that. And I had wondered how well the battery was going to hold up. Well, I guess now we know. Hey, there was a plus to the day. Something good came out of it. I'm proud of that battery. And it still had enough juice in it to even help me get the boat loaded onto the trailer when I got back to the ramp. Hey, there was a bonus there. So what exactly did we learn from the first official Simple Living fishing trip? And that's kind of what I felt like this was today. It's our first official fishing trip. Well, we learned a lot. But basically, I think it just all comes down to the old saying, some days you eat the bear, and some days the bear eats you. Stuff goes wrong. And a lot of this was on me, forgetting the graph. That was on me. Well, truthfully, all of this was on me, but the outboard, I knew we had some issues there, but I had to run it. I mean, I got to get a few tanks of gas there, got to get it cleaned out. We drained the tank, changing lines, the carburetor's already cleaned. It takes a few trips to really get all that out of there. That's just part of it. The camera gear, yeah, that was on me too. I didn't check my connections, didn't check the new cables when they came in. But bottom line, almost all of this falls under just getting out there and using your stuff. I made a lot of changes to my camera gear and just organized a lot of stuff. And Had the new cables because I needed longer cables for the mounting positions in the boat, which is something I hadn't had to deal with before. I assumed that they had sent me the right ones, but you know what they say about assuming, but I had a million other things I was checking. Also, I missed that one item. And that's the thing about camera gear a lot of you don't see. On that side, miss one thing and you're in trouble. And the camera gear, I've got as much camera gear as tackle, or it seems like it. So it's all the work that goes into getting all your tackle ready for a fishing trip and getting the boat ready for a fishing trip. There's just as much work getting the camera gear ready also. So that's just that much more that, you know, just got to deal with, just that much more you can mess up. Once I go through this a few times, get my gear organized and sorted out on the camera gear, we're going to be good. And on the boat, you know, we knew there were some issues, but I think this is going to be a good boat when we're done. I can't swear to it. I think it's going to be a good motor when we're done. It just needs running. It needs some TLC and it needs running, and we still got a lot of things to fix. I'm hoping to just be able to get in some fishing right now in springtime, just get everything to the point where we can just count on it. And then go back in the summer and we'll make some changes then and redo some stuff, and we'll sure enough get it right then. All right, but I'm just trying to get it to where it's fishable now. Plus, this gives me a chance to really try out the boat, see what I like, what I don't like, what to modify maybe this summer. And it all falls under, I just got to get out there and fishing and using this stuff and using the camera gear, using the boat. So hey, we survived the first official Simple Living fishing trip. Nobody was lost out at the lake or anything else. I made it home. It's all good. I do hate though that I had those issues today. I caught some fish today. It was a pretty good day. But I left a lot of fish out there. I mean, it was a good day. And there weren't that many boats on the lake. There's this little tournament on the next lake up called the Bassmaster Classic. They were fishing it today while I was fishing. I was on Russell today, which is the next lake down from Hartwell. So most of the fishermen were at the Classic. I had the lake almost to myself. I really felt like I should have put this. I didn't take full advantage of the opportunities I had today. But that's okay. That's part of it too. I'm not dialed in yet on my fishing. And those of you that fish lots, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not dialed in on, I don't even have a confidence bait yet. I ended up catching most of my fish down a Carolina rig. There were fish suspended off the secondary points and main lake points that had I been dialed in on jerkbait or fluke or something where I could cover some water, something they would chase down. Ooh, it could have been a good one today because they were active. But hey, I still did okay. So we're getting there. And I guess that's the point of all of this. It's a process. And for those of you that, you're just getting into fishing, or like myself, just getting back into it, have fun with it. I mean, seriously, stuff's gonna go wrong. And for myself, I could have had a lot of fun filming this on the way back with the trolling motor, and that could have made for a good video. That's a lost opportunity right there. But I'll be honest, it would have been a lot more fun if I knew I was going to make it back with the trolling motor, because for a little while there, we'll just say I wasn't sure. Wasn't a whole lot of fun then. It's just part of it. Okay, we'll see how the boat turns out this week. Mechanic, I'm sure he'll get it straightened out. It's probably just, again, trashing the carburetors. We'll find out. We'll see where we go from here for next week. God bless. Y'all have a good evening.